Okay, for the sake of the recording, the class announcements, this is actually week 3 announcements. I know it says week 2 on the screen, but believe it or not, this is week 3. Okay, these are your week 3 announcements. The week 2 homework is due tonight at 11:59 p.m. EST. Okay, for all weeks 101 and 1001. 1001, you all had an additional week to get your work in, so I'm definitely expecting to see all of the work for 1001 because you all had an extra week. Okay, please be sure to submit it on time as much as you can. Okay, let's see here. All right, great job to everybody that participated in the challenge this week. You will have at least one more challenge before the course ends, so stay tuned for that. I want you all to get used to putting your work out for public consumption, okay? It's very, very important. All right, so that is why that is part of your course. That is not by accident, okay? So just, look forward to that, okay? Those of you all who are actually doing the challenge, I'm definitely giving you all some extra credit for doing that because I know that it was not easy, okay? This is not your final exam. Why is that on there? I don't know why that's on there, but the I don't know why that's on there. Sorry about that. All right, so I told you all that I would be inviting you all to some workshops occasionally that we do over at the center. As part of the nonprofit, you all are welcome to attend those. They are not free of charge, but they're very low cost. So if you all want to attend, the very next one is Pitch Your Course to Businesses and Schools. It is next Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern, and then there is an encore next Saturday at Saturday, March 1st. I cannot believe I'm saying March, but yes, March 1st at 10 a.m. Eastern. Okay, so you all can look for that. The link should be in there if you all want to participate in that. If you want to, that course, that class is all about pitching your course to businesses and schools. So if you're not sure how to do that, you want to get in on that workshop, you all will be welcome to do that. The link should be in there by this evening or either first thing in the morning. All right, that's Pitch Your Course to Businesses and Schools. This homework for this week is going to be more extensive. So I will be explaining the homework to you all. You all will actually have 2 weeks to get the homework done. Okay, you all will have 2 weeks instead of 1 week because it is more extensive. So I wanted to give you all a heads up on that, but I will be explaining more what your homework is going to be once we get to that. But I did want to let you all know that. And so next week, because you all have such, more extensive homework, you actually have a paper due. Next week is a lab day. Okay. That does not mean wait until next week to get started with your paper. Okay, because you are going to need the 2 weeks to actually get it done. The reason why we're having a lab day instead of a regular class day is because I want to give you time in class to work on it and ask questions. I will be here. I will be kind of in the background, but it will give you an opportunity to ask questions if you have questions and to have dedicated time to work on the assignment. So next week is not a regular class day. It is a class time, but it is a lab day. So what does that mean? That means that when I give you the homework for today, you will start working on it. Next Monday, bring what you have already worked on and continue working on it and or ask your questions while I'm here in class. Okay. And if you have started your homework, then this is the time to ask me questions, not flooding the chat later. Okay. So that means you will have had to get started on it to know what questions you have. So bring your questions next Monday during lab day and use that as time to finish your assignment that will be due the following week. Okay, is everybody clear? Next week is lab day. That does not mean not come, because you are still, I'm still taking roll and attendance. So it doesn't mean don't come. It means come, but have your questions ready and be ready to try to finish up your homework, your paper while you are in class, and that sort of thing. Okay. So we'll talk about that a little bit more later. Your final exam is March 3rd and must be submitted by March 10th. Our last day of class is actually March 10th. Okay, it's March 10th. So that means you are going to receive both classes, 101 and 1001. You are going to both receive your final exams on March 3rd. Okay, and you will have until March 10th to complete your final exams. Your final exams are going to be on everything that we have covered this term. Okay, all the terms that we talked about, the concepts that I've introduced you to, the work, the reasoning, the logic behind what I've had you do. So the final exam will cover everything that we have covered during this term. You will get that on March 3rd. Okay. So you'll make sure that you meet the deadline, get your final exam, and it is going to take you the time to do your final exam. Okay. But I never give you busy work. This is designed to help you bring it all together. Okay, to bring it all together. For those of you all who are going to be continuing with me in our mastermind, we will be continuing that work. Those of you all, and congratulations to everyone who is moving on with us after class in the B2B mastermind. That is Turkisa, Dr. K, Angela, Amalia, and who am I forgetting? Oh, there's one more person. Ah, God, forgive me, forgive me. I believe there's one more person that's joining us. Amalia, Angela, Dr. K, and Turkisa are joining us over in the mastermind, where they're going to continue their work with me over on the nonprofit side of our business, where there are, I don't know, 35, 37 folks over there already in the mastermind. And so I'm super excited that I will be continuing to work with them, and you all will have an opportunity to do that as well, if that's something that you feel like you want to do. All right. So the end of class in-person event, I don't know what I'm calling it yet, but it's definitely going to be on Saturday, March 15th, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern. If you all can make it to Atlanta, if you're in or around the Atlanta area, I would absolutely love to see you all. The location is to be determined, but it will be a Black-owned restaurant or coffee shop. I have not quite figured that out just yet. My team is coming up with the location choices. Okay, we'll try to do it somewhere centrally located. When I say centrally, I mean somewhere maybe not quite downtown, but not quite in the suburbs either. So we're looking for a location, and definitely I am open to suggestions as well. If you all have suggestions, I would love to see you all for the end of class in person. Finally get to see each other in person. I don't know what we're going to call it, but I would love to see you all if you all are in and around the Atlanta area. And when we get together, listen, we're going to chat, bring, even though it's casual, I still say bring your computers, bring your fluffy socks, bring your, ideas so that we can kind of talk about it as a group in person. I would love to actually do that. Okay. So those are your class announcements. All right. Let me come over here to the chat. I see the chat is active. All right. So, can someone please send me the workbook for today? I'll show you exactly where you can get that, Amalia. Yes, the master class. Oh, wonderful. I wish you could come too. Where y'all meeting? We will be meeting. I don't know yet, but I will announce exactly where we're going to be meeting. The workbook for this week is already in your homework channel in the Discord for both classes. For both classes, the workbooks are already in the homework channel. Okay, I'm here in Atlanta. Okay, awesome. Would love to see you. You got it. You got it. The Coach Luana, I know you had asked about the cognitive load training. It is now in your playlist on YouTube for both classes. Both classes have the cognitive load training inside of your playlist now on YouTube. Okay. So that is there. The workbooks for this week are in your homework channel. And so you all should be good to go along with your assignment for this week. But don't worry about trying to look at it now. Okay. Because we're going to get into class. You can take a look at that a little bit later. Okay. All right. So with that being said, we're going to hop right on into any questions before we get started. Any questions or comments? Or I know I just went through a lot.
Yes, I have just one. Exactly what is due for tonight for this class here?
Okay, great question. So what I would like for you to do is go over to the homework channel,
Okay.
and all of the homework assignments are listed.
Okay, thank you.
You got it. All right. Okay, I'm getting ready to share my screen. Sure I'm pulling up the right thing. And I did not pull up the right thing. So hang on just 1 second. All right. So let's see if I get this up here right. 101. Your assignment this week was to create the script and or the video for your introductory video. Okay, your introductory video, and I posted a sample in our homework and resources channel so that you can sort of get an idea of what an introductory video might look like. Okay, y'all got a chance to check that out? Okay, awesome. So what observations did you make? Let's kind of start there. What observations did you make?
Um, Hi, it's Luana, Coach Luana. For me, I felt like she was relaxed, the
Mm-hmm.
woman who was talking about it. I felt like she knew what she was talking about. And
Okay.
she got right to the point. I thought her body language was good. She didn't look like she was just trying to rush through the information. She was like she spoke, she was poised, she knew what she was talking about. And it got right to the point. It was short, like what you said, like no more than 4 minutes. So I
Mm-hmm.
thought that that was good. I think hers was like a minute and a half, something like that. She got a lot of information in a short amount of time. And she took
Mm-hmm.
her time with the information, but she was right on beat. So I thought it was a good video. I learned a lot.
Very good, very good. She is actually the one who is
Mhm.
licensing her course to Google. Okay. Mm-hmm,
Oh,
mm-hmm. And
awesome.
you,
That's great.
yeah, yeah.
Well,
Any other observations?
Yes, it's actually on my topic. I'm also a manifestation coach. So that was freaking amazing to see my topic being covered.
Mm-hmm. Very good. Very good. Did you all notice her talking about her learning objectives? Did anybody hear it? Did anybody hear her saying in this course, you will learn this, you will do this, you will do this? Did you all catch that? Y'all picked up
I
on that?
definitely did catch it.
Very good. Very good. Now, um, um, Kane,
Yes. Can you hear me?
yes.
Yeah, I noticed that too. Her objective. She talked about what they were going to learn. She talked about why she did it. She talked about the transformation. So it was quite a bit
Mm-hmm.
that she covered in that.
She did. She did. What about the aesthetic? What about the aesthetic? How it looked, or how she looked, or how anything you all picked up there or remember there?
Her decor in the background was I think it matched her outfit, or it made it seem like, it set the mood to say,
Mm-hmm.
okay, well, she knows what she's talking about. And then she had the words pop up on the screen that
Mm-hmm.
kind of made it still make it seem like it was popping as well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Very good. Very good. So let me give you all a little bit of backdrop on this. She actually was very, very, very nervous. Okay. You can't really tell it in the video, but she was very, very nervous. It was her very first time doing anything like this. So she flew in from California to do this in studio with us. So what you see there is stagecraft. We basically designed what you all saw behind her. She brought her clothes. We had a session with her prior to her coming to discuss what she was going to wear. Now, typically, I don't I don't particularly care for prints because a lot of people don't do prints well, okay? It comes up looking a little zigzag on camera sometimes and it looks a little weird. So most of the time I do not recommend print, but she's a color girl. She loves a lot of color and splash and finesse, and so I didn't want her to not be herself either. So I just said we're just going to go with it, but in general I try to stay away from it. All of this we set up kind of behind her, and we actually did this in an Airbnb. It was very important to her to kind of make it feel homey and feel relaxed. And so I'm glad that you all felt like she was relaxed, because that is definitely the mood that she was trying to get across. As you can see, while her outfit is very, very bright, you will see that around her it's very kind of neutral toned, toned down. That's because we want her to be the star of the show. Okay. We actually edited her videos for her. So the words that you see popping up on the screen and all of that, we actually did all her editing and all of that for her. Okay. Okay. Very good. Excellent. Okay. So I'm glad that that helped. So now let me come back over here and I will share my screen again. Very, very good. Okay. Okay. Here we go. I hope I'm doing this right, Lord. Okay, here it is here, but then when I come over to actually share my screen, okay, share right there. It should come up. Oh, there it is. Okay, now we're good. Sorry about that. Okay. Okay. So this week, 101, we are focused on creating a strong module one. Okay. So you have already gotten your introductory video done. Now we have to put the rest of your module one together. And if you remember, last week we started talking about what all you can put in your module one. So definitely, feel free to refer back to that if you need to. But the first module of your course is really the foundation for your learner's success. It sets the expectations, introduces key concepts, and engages the students right from the start. So a lot of what I see a lot is people that jump right into the content without setting their learner up for success first. They usually just get right into whatever they're going to start talking about, not really taking into account that your learner needs time to connect the dots. Okay. They need to understand why they're doing what they're doing. So, those of you all who are in my advanced class, we're going to get into the principles of learner engagement this evening. So 101, if you can stay, please do, because I think it will help you for sure. Both classes will help both classes, but we're going to be talking about the principles of adult learning theory in 1001 this evening. But part of that is that learners have to understand, adult learners anyway, need to understand why they're doing what they're doing. And a lot of times, one of the biggest mistakes I see is people just not taking that into account. They just jump right on into it and just, start flooding them with information. So a well-designed module one is going to ensure that your learners are prepared and motivated. So you all saw the energy that Michelle brought to the screen, right? So you want to really set the tone in that module one. It's going to establish clarity on what your learners are going to achieve and reduce the overwhelm and guide them through the structure of the course, with the expectations, building their confidence that they can actually be successful in your program. And it's going to encourage engagement and interaction early on in the course. Again, it sets the tone, which is why we're going over module one. And really pay attention to this because your homework this week is related to getting your module one done. Okay. All right, so components of a strong module one include a welcome and course overview. So after your introduction, okay, you want to have some kind of course overview, foundation and key concepts. This is where, if your course specifically has language that they need to know, maybe you're going to be using some acronyms, maybe you're going to be using some kind of language that they're not familiar with. This is where you want to introduce that. This is where you might want to have a download of where they can download some terms, some key terms that you're going to be giving them, especially if it's new to them. Remember, last week we talked about cognitive load and reducing that cognitive load. A surefire way to increase the cognitive load is giving them a bunch of vocabulary that they may not be familiar with. So we want to reduce that cognitive load by going ahead and introducing them to key concepts or vocabulary up front. And this is a great place to do that. And to show them where those resources are in case they need to refer back. All right. So you might have a success roadmap. Okay. You might have a success roadmap like Tall Boy has, that really beautiful roadmap that you have for your travels framework. I love that, right? Where you can really kind of show them that we're going to go here, A, B, C, and D. Okay. All right. So, and set the expectations for that roadmap. Your expectations may not be just bullet points. It might be that you need to tell them that, especially if you have an emotional topic, if you have a topic that might trigger them, if you have a topic that they need to really kind of be in a quiet place, or you recommend that in your module one, this is where you want to talk about that. Okay. And think of your module one as setting them up for success. What do they need to do in order to feel like, okay, this is what I'm going to need. These are some tools I might need. I might need a journal. I might need a notebook. I have no idea what you might, what they might need in terms of equipment or tools or resources that you might recommend. This is a great place to let them know that. So everybody's module one is going to be a little bit different. It's not like a standard template. I'm giving you some ideas, and the whole, but the idea is you're going to give me what I need to be successful. Okay, so when I am grading your module ones, and I'll give you all the rubric as well. When I'm looking at your module one, I am looking at it from the standpoint of a brand new learner. Do I understand, and have you set me up for success? Have you answered my questions in this module one in terms of how we're going to be moving forward? All right, so you're welcome, an overview, that's your intro. We've already talked about that. Warm, engaging, welcome message, explain the purpose and goals of the course, just like you saw Michelle do. Provide a simple walkthrough of the course, how to navigate the course platform if you already know what your platform is going to be, and an outline of what the learners can expect. Those are your learning objectives. Here's what you're going to learn in this course, okay? All right, the foundations and key concepts. You're going to introduce essential background information, all right, to level the playing field. And what I basically mean by that is you want everybody to start here. Think about your module one as that sign in the mall that says you are here with a big X on it. You are here. You want everybody to know where they're starting. Here is where we're starting. Okay, you're going to define key terms, provide examples of real world applications and core ideas if that is necessary for your particular topic. It may not be, but that is where your discernment is going to come in. Do I think they need an example of this in order to be set up for success? If not, if you think that they don't necessarily need it, you don't have to include it. Okay. Use visuals, analogies, and storytelling to make the concepts memorable. Remember, we talked about incorporating artificial intelligence, how we're going to actually do that. Well, this is a great place for you to incorporate those visuals, analogies, storytelling, and those sorts of things within your within your module and what you're actually showing them. Okay. Don't forget to use visuals. Let me show you all a tool. This tool is called Napkin.ai. You may or may not be familiar with Napkin. Anybody familiar with Napkin? All right. Napkin is a really great AI tool that will help you to create those visuals that you're looking for. Okay. So for example, let's create a new, and this is a free tool, by the way. All right, so let's create a blank napkin, and let's just say that you want to create a visual for, I'm going to make this simple just to show you. Okay, this is particularly a good tool if you are if you have a lot of bullet points, okay? Um what it does is it will create a visual of a list. And I just made a list, but you could put a whole paragraph in here if you wanted to. Okay? And once you highlight it, this little blue, like, I don't know, lightning bolt is going to come up over here on the side. And when you click on it, it's going to analyze the data and it's going to create a visual of what you just put in it. And then you can decide which visual you like. Oh, I like that, and that's cute. Which one y'all like? I kind of like this one. No, this one.
I like the first one. That was so cute.
You like this one? This one or this one?
I'm sorry, it's kind of like interesting navigating the first one. Oh,
Okay.
that's nice too.
That one is, right? This one. Wait, this one.
Yeah,
This one.
the circular one.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
circular
that
one.
circular one look good. I like that.
Okay. Yeah, okay. Now look, you can even pick a style. You can even come over here and you can pick different colors of the same thing. Okay.
Hmm.
So if
Oh,
you just, uh-huh,
I like how intense you can make the colors pop
that's
off the
right.
screen.
Yep. And if you pay for the paid version, you can even put your own branding colors in here. But here's the really cool part about this. The really cool part is that you can just go ahead and download the PNG of the graphic, and then you can put it wherever you want. You can put it in your presentation. You can use it wherever you would like to. It saves to your hard drive. You can use it wherever. You can even update the background colors. You know, it doesn't have to be transparent. You can put your own background colors in it. So this is a very, very cool tool. Y'all like this?
Yes, I do. I love it.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
This is cool, right? And what it does is it allows you to quickly put a visual in the midst of your presentation, whatever it is that you're doing. So if we are, and then, you know, like I said, you can download it and then you can put it wherever you like. You can put it on a PowerPoint. And what that does is it breaks up the content for your learner so that your learner is not just looking at, they shouldn't be, just looking at the same thing over and over and over again, right? So now you can bring it over into whatever kind of presentation you're doing and upload and just, it keeps its same shape and form. Here we go. And insert it and boom, there it is. Okay, then you can just size it and put it wherever you want it.
Coach Cat,
Yeah.
I have a question, please.
Sure.
And I think that I'm missing something. So what is the difference between the intro and module one?
Okay, great question. So module one includes an introduction. Module one includes an introduction. So within module one, okay, you are going to have the intro. Okay, the intro is typically a video of you introducing and welcoming, just like you saw the one with Michelle. Okay, so it's like the welcome introduction. That is within module one. Does that make sense? Okay, so within module one, you're going to have that intro video. You're also going to have, you know, a section on what to expect, or you might have a section on key terms and concepts for this class. You might have whatever you think they're going to need to be set up for success. You might have a lesson on tools and equipment you'll need. You might have, there's some other ones. You might have a pre-assessment. You might have a pre-assessment in module 1 if you think that they need to start off with some sort of assessment. So the introduction is within module 1. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I guess so with the homework that we had to do today, the one that we have to turn in. So
Yep. Mhm.
I ended up doing a video that I'll post later, but within that, I don't know if it almost sounds like I did module 1. So I didn't know if I did too much in the intro or
Okay, it might be, you might have included, how long is your intro? That'll tell me.
okay, it is 2 minutes 30 seconds, I think. It's about the same as the one that you gave us as an example.
That
So
Michelle did?
I mirrored it kind of off of that. The one that you posted as the example. So within that, it does have the intro, it has my objectives and all of that, what to expect. But that's what I created to post tonight. So I
And
just
that's fine. That's fine. But what else do they need? They need more than just that in your module 1. Remind me of your topic.
it's respectful dirty talk.
Okay. So now the task is to think about what else do they need in order to make sure that they can get through your course, seamlessly. What else do they need to know? What else do they need to know, have, think, do? Is there a mindset piece? Is there a, hey, this is how I want you to think about it. This is when I want you to start taking. This is what else do they need besides welcome to the class?
So is module 1 pretty much like what she's saying, going to be all audio or several different videos, or it's going to
Module
be
1,
paper or?
very good. Good question. So you don't have to be on video, okay? It doesn't have to be video. It can be words, okay? It can be, all right? But most people have do a video, okay? But you don't have to. You don't have to. You can also do a PowerPoint presentation. You can show a graphic. You can put up an infographic if that will better explain what you're talking about. It really kind of comes down to what you choose to include in there. But they can all be videos. You can have a video on what to expect. You can have a video on the mindset piece, how you want them to be thinking as they get into the course. You can have one on tools and resources and how they're going to use it, the pre-assessment. So we can talk through that if you're not sure what you think you need to include, but it needs to be more than just the intro video.
So I ran into a problem myself because I created a video, excuse me, not a video. I created an intro earlier this
Mhm.
week, and then you made a statement saying that how does this go with the framework or whatever? And then so I went back and recreated it again, and then I'm like, am I supposed to do a video with this? Am I supposed to do just
You
all
didn't have
text?
to do the video. You didn't have to do a video. I was basically saying if you wanted to do the video, that puts you one step ahead. All I was really looking for was your script. But if you
Gotcha.
wanted to include the video, that puts you one step farther ahead because this week's work is to flesh out module 1.
So if you already have the script already written, then you're pretty much still ahead of the curve outside of just not having a physical video.
That's correct. That's correct. So just go ahead and do your video, okay? So we can talk about to have a video or not to do a video and why you would want to have a video versus not having a video.
And
If
video
you
sales.
say it again now.
Video sales.
Yeah, yeah. It does. And even more so than that, it connects people, right? So if you are selling your course to consumers appreciate video because they feel more connected to you. Businesses, those of you all who are selling, businesses, schools, they don't really care. And matter of fact, it might be better if you're not on video. It's probably better if you're not. Okay. But you don't have to be on video for businesses and schools. Okay. But for consumers, they prefer that you be on video. Does that make sense? Okay. So your task this week is to decide, is to give, and this is why I'm giving you all this assignment, because I want you to set your people up for success. Give them the tools, if there's a system they're going to have to log into, if there's a website that you want them to have to go to during the class, if there is a oh gosh, what else? What else? What else? See, so you have to think about it for your topic. And this is where like that mindset.
Course software, like
Yep.
if you have a software that you want them to go to.
Correct. If there's a subscription that they need to get to something in order to be successful, or in order to make it easier for them, if there is a, and I keep saying mindset because most of you all have topics where they need to have their mindset in the right place to be successful. So I highly recommend a mindset lesson video right off the bat, and that goes in module 1.
Can I ask you something?
Mm-hmm.
So should there be anything in the module 1 where we say if they get stuck or confused, email us, or I don't know, come on a Facebook group or something like that, like
That's a
something
great
where they can
question.
reach out to us?
That's a great question. So let me tell you where that typically goes. We aren't covering that in this particular course because we're not really covering platforms and where you're putting your course and all of that.
Okay.
But what you're talking about is, what if you get stuck? Where do you go? That goes as an intro to the entire site. Okay. So most of you all will have multiple courses, more than one, right? So when they log in to your, wherever you've got them at, right, there should be a video there that introduces them to the entire neighborhood. No matter what course they're taking, it sets the stage for the entire neighborhood, all of your courses, no matter what they're taking. And that's where you're going to say to them, welcome to the house of Coach Luana. I'm so glad you decided to join us. No matter which course you've chosen, I want you to know that that you're not alone. I'm with you every step of the way. And if you get stuck, this is where you go. And that's where you typically have your link to your contact me, contact us. Where if you have a Facebook group, they can link directly to the Facebook group or to the Discord or something like that. And so yeah. Now you can put it inside of the course, but I would rather they have it before they even get in there, because what if they get stuck before they even get in there? Okay. So okay. So I would say have it on the outside, not to say that you can't have it on the inside as well, but you know.
Okay, I have a question to
Mhm.
piggyback off of hers.
Mhm.
Would it be appropriate to do like a frequently asked questions session for those type of things, or is that not a good idea?
Well, yes and no.
Okay.
So put yourself in the shoes of your learner, okay? And I do want you to answer questions that they might have before they get started. Only the questions, I'm talking about module 1, okay? Only the questions as they get started, okay? So when you're setting the expectations, that's where you're going to say, now right now you might be thinking, I have absolutely no idea of some of the language that that she's talking about, da 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 da. You might be wondering where you can get more information on this, that, or the other. I've made it really super simple for you. This is where your resources section is. Just go to the top right hand and click this. That's where you're talking about the navigation to help them to like where they can go if you know, within the course, if they have those questions. But I would not give them a frequently asked questions right now. Not at that point. Okay. Number one, we always have to keep in mind cognitive load. Number two, I don't necessarily want them to think about questions that they don't even have right now. Okay. Let them go through the content, and as they have questions, because your job is not to answer all the questions for them up front. That's not your role. Okay. Your role is to help them to come to their own answers kind of themselves, right? What's best for them as they go through the content. So don't feel like you got to give them all the answers to the test up front. Okay. I hope that answers that question.
I
I would,
appreciate it. I
yeah,
was just curious about
yeah,
that
no
because
worries. Yeah, it's a great question. It's a really good question. No, I wouldn't give them a frequently asked questions. Um, yeah. And then depending on where they are or how they come in, like if they're a beginner, an intermediate, if they're more advanced, their questions might be different, you know? And you don't want to be worried about, have I captured all the right questions? And then it's overwhelming. No, okay. Now, yeah, don't worry about that. As long as you give them an opportunity to ask questions, it's fine. Okay. Now, the action step. Let me give you all that. All right. Because it's going to take you all a little bit of time to come up with your module 1. Okay. At the end of your module 1, you're always going to assign a small but impactful task to start building momentum. Okay. Sometimes you'll see this as like example, reflect on a personal goal. You know, you have people say, okay, well, now it's time to get started. And the first thing I'd like for you to do is write down your goal or what you would like to accomplish by the end of this course. Go ahead, write that down and post it in our private community. I'd love to see what you come up with. Okay. So you're giving them a small task right up front. It helps them to get used to your way of doing things, and if you have a community that is associated with the course, it gets them used to communicating in the way that you want them to do so. So a typical small task at the end of the module 1, your action step is, here's your first assignment. I'd like for you to go over da 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 da. Okay. I actually gave you all a small assignment when you first started here. I had you to come over and introduce yourself in the Discord. Okay. Small task, and you can do the same thing. I want you to introduce yourself. I want you to reflect on what you want to get out of it. I want you to do this or whatever it is. A small task that just starts getting them in the frame of mind, getting them the in the right direction and building momentum. Okay. And then at the end of that, you're going to say, and once you're done with that, and if it's a worksheet you have them do, then you're going to say, download the worksheet for the work that I have for you, and I'll see you in the next course, or I'll see you in the next lesson. Okay, does that make sense? Let me know if y'all have questions on that.
So
yes,
you're
it
saying
makes
after
sense.
each module? You're saying after
No,
each module?
at the end of the module 1, after you're done, you got your intro welcome. Now you're giving them the tools, you've given them the expectations, you've given them the mindset video. Now at the very end, let's get started. Okay, so it'll say, let's get started. How you use your own language that makes sense to you. At the last module, the last lesson might say, let's get started. It might say, you know, your first step, let's go. I don't know, whatever you want to call it, but that's your first task. You know, the first thing I'd like for you to do is go over, introduce yourself, and tell everybody whatever you want them to tell them, where you're from and what you want to, what you absolutely have to get out of this course. And once you've done that, I'll see you in the next lesson.
That's what I'm saying. So after that, module 1, and you complete module 1, you say, "I'll see you in the next lesson," or
Right.
however
And
your word,
and
however
that's
your
going to
wording
take,
is.
that's correct. And that'll take them to module 2, lesson 1. That takes them to module 2, lesson 1. Now, the reason why we say I'll see you in the next lesson is because, number one, we may repurpose that content. So if you say I'll see you in module 2, lesson 1, then you have to have it in exactly that order and you can't change it. But what if you want to take that lesson out and use it for something else? You might want to use it for a freebie. You might want to use it during a workshop, but it says, see me in the next lesson, which is module 2, lesson 2, or something like that. Don't be specific. Don't call it by name. And that way you can move it if you want to. That's why it's modular, because that way you can pull it out and move it if you want to. Okay, so don't, in your videos, do not name it. Don't say the name. If you change the name of your course, now you got to re-record the whole thing all over again because you named it something and then you decide to change it later. Make sense? Okay. All right. So, but you can say, I'll see you in the next lesson. You can say that.
So only module 1 we should be referring to as module 1, correct?
You don't say module 1.
Okay.
Yeah, don't say it at all. As a matter of
Okay.
fact, let me make a note to give you all the recording structure of your lessons. I'll put that in your resources. I have a resource that tells you how to structure your video script. Okay. So you're not going to say, welcome to module 1. You're just going to say, welcome to the course. Make sense? You're just going to say, welcome to the course.
Yes, makes perfect sense. Thank you.
Yeah, you got it. Okay. Very good. Okay. So your assignment 101 is going to be to come up with your module 1. I can't tell you what's all going to be in it because I don't know what your students need to be successful in your course. That is for you to determine. Do they need tools? Do they need resources? Do they need websites? Do they need a mindset shift? Do they need, I have no idea. Okay. Do they need a list of vocabulary words? Do they need, I don't know. Okay. So that is part of the thought process that we're going through that is going to set your course apart. This right here is the work part that ChatGPT cannot do for you. ChatGPT cannot tell you, okay, what you think your students need to be successful. Only you know that. Okay. All right. So for your module 1, keep the content clear, concise, and welcoming. Remember that you don't know when they are taking this course. It could be at 2 a.m. in the morning. It could be after a hard day's work. You don't know. Use varied content formats to enhance the engagement. It should not all be the same. You don't have to have all video. You don't have to all be on camera. You can switch it up. You can have one lesson that is a few PowerPoint slides. You can have one that you on video. Okay, so you can switch up the modality. Okay, you can have one where you're down in the corner and speaking to the PowerPoint slide. You can do that as well. Focus on providing an easy, structured start to build the learner confidence. Okay, set up your learners for long-term success by making module 1 a strong foundation. So module 1 is your foundational module that sets them up for success. Okay, any questions on what your assignment is? And the reason I'm giving you all 2 weeks to do it, because I think you're going to find that you're going to need that time to work through it. Okay, you're going to have to put yourself in the seat of your learner. So the first thing that you have to do is determine what do they need to be successful, and am I giving them what they need to be successful?
Kat, how long should that, because I know the intro is separate from the module, right? How long should that video be?
All of your videos, all of them should be between 3 and 5 minutes. 3 and 5 minutes.
Okay.
When they start getting a little longer than that, there has to be a really good reason. Okay, this is micro learning, and so, you know, people's attention spans are kind of short. So when you script it out, now that's one thing that ChatGPT can help you do. When you script it out, you can put it in ChatGPT and ask it how long it should take for you to do this script, if you're going to script it. Some of you all are going to find that you want to script it, and some of you all are going to find that you don't want to script it, that you want to just kind of speak to the bullet points. Ayana, you have a question?
Yeah, so based off of like the framework, the entire course itself would be about 30 minutes max. If it was like 5 things.
Probably.
Okay.
Probably. Now, with that being said, it's 30 minutes of instructional content, but that doesn't mean it's going to take them 30 minutes to get through your course.
Got it. Got
Mhm.
it. So it might take
Yeah.
them longer as the user, but
It will take them longer as the user. It will absolutely take them longer. So if you think about it, right, most people are going to take at least a week to get through 5 videos. I mean, it's going to take them time. And depending on the cognitive load of your course, it might even take them longer. Okay, because you're thinking, oh man, these are short. They should be able to get right on through this. They should be able to know, because they have to absorb it. They have to reinforce. They have to comprehend what you're telling them to do. They have to apply what you're asking them to do. So that takes time, in addition to all the other things that they have to do. So 30 minutes of instructional content is going to take them about 4 weeks to do.
okay, thank you.
You got it. That's a great question. That's why we don't want to overwhelm them.
Yeah, that is a good question, Kat, because I was thinking about, my issue is I give too much information. I
Mhm.
give too much because I know so much on this topic, and it's like I really want them to know this, but when you said the cognitive load thing, I'm like, oh, okay, I have to rein it in. And also know that this is just one course, right? Like the information that I don't put in, I can actually create 2, 3 more courses from the information that I don't put in it. So, how many
1,000.
pages? How many pages I'm thinking of pages in terms of like content per module. Like if my course is, let's say, 6 weeks, how many pages. Well, I don't know. We said we don't know. I was trying to do 8 weeks. You told me to scale it back, and you said that we don't know.
Now when you say pages, does that mean you intend for them to read everything?
I wanna mix it up with video and actual work, like pages where they could actually like a PDF, you know what I mean? So um
Let me see if I can show you some examples. You definitely want to mix it up.
yeah.
While you're doing that, Lajana, I just purchased last year a course.
Luana.
Oh, Luana, I'm sorry. You can't mess up a black woman's name. They're gonna get on you.
Mm.
I purchased
No, no.
a course for Midjourney. I'm not sure if you're familiar with what Midjourney is, but it's like an
I
AI
heard of it.
um prompting thing. And I'm looking, and
Hmm.
this is pretty much in alignment to what she's saying. He's got like 13 different modules, I guess, like getting started, controlling, whatever, like he's got like 13 different chapters, and in each chapter,
Uh-huh.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So he may have like 10 in one chapter. But when I'm clicking on the videos, they're anywhere from 4 minutes, 7 minutes, 2 minutes. But I haven't seen a video over 9. And I'm gonna be honest, the ones that was 9, I did not even watch those. I was like, oh, I can
Mhm.
watch this 2 minute video.
Hmm.
I can watch this 3 minute video because it's digestible.
Right.
So, but this 9 minute video, I still
That's
ain't even
right.
watched it. And I'm just gonna be honest with you. And this is a course that I
Hmm.
paid for to say, how do I master, prompting better with my photos on Midjourney? And
Right.
I haven't even finished the course, to her point. So I'm just looking at what I paid for, and I'm like, dang, that's my money. And I haven't even went through the whole course, if that makes sense. So just something to think about.
Yeah, thank you for that. Yeah, I think with the videos and stuff, I would be good because I go live every week on social media, so I'm good with speaking, and I'm like not nervous about stuff like that. But in my brain, I think in steps, and I'm like, okay, how many pages? Like that's how I think of information. I don't
It
want to
depends.
overwhelm anybody.
Yeah, and you don't want, hang on one second, let me show this. Okay, stand by 1001. We're getting ready to get started in just a moment. Let me show you all a couple of things. Let me. All right. So this is one of our dashboards. Okay. This is not Teachable, Thinkific, or any of that. And if they go into our dashboard, let me see, hopefully I have the right login here. All right. So here, they're going to see an introductory video here. This, you all haven't seen this. What's that TikTok that said, you can't buy this in the store? That is so funny to me. Okay. All right, so I wanted to show you some samples of different ways to present. See if this is okay. So this actually has words on it. And you see here, we use the visual there in between to explain it. Let me see if this one has a video. It does. So in between there, you see how like I've used different modalities to break it up. So you'll see a combination of words, and then you'll see a graphic, and then you'll see a video. One of the most powerful things. Okay, I don't know if y'all can hear that, but okay, and you'll see that this video was only 1 minute and 30 seconds. All right. And so, but again, it's a example, and this is a consumer dashboard, okay? This is for consumers. All right. So they've got some more words, and then they get to the end, and then they've got a worksheet they can that I've told them that I've asked them to download in here. All right. So I'm showing you all to show you that you want to kind of mix it up. You want to give them, you know, not also when you say pages, I'm thinking, oh God, if they're going to read a lot, because there's nothing wrong with giving them something to read, but you don't want to over stimulate them with the reading stuff. There's nothing wrong with giving them things to read, but mix it up.
Yeah, I'm
What
definitely
about
gonna have
website
to
links?
scale back.
Yeah, for sure.
What
What's that now? Oh, you're on mute.
What about website links of like to different organizations or to places that they may need? Like, do you provide that or just tell them to go there? Give that
Make
information
it
out?
easy for them. Make it easy for them, okay? But at the same time, you don't want to get them lost outside of your course. You don't want them going down rabbit holes, like going to different sites and stuff. Just make sure that you explain to them how you want them to use it. Okay. So if you want them to not click on those sites really until we get to it in the course, you just want them to know where your resources are when they get to it. Okay. I mean, you don't want to treat them like kids, but at the same time, navigation of your program is important. That is an important decision that you will have to make. Do I let them go all around the course in the order that they want to, or do I make them go in a certain order? Have y'all ever been to a course or taken an online course where they make you go in a certain order? Anybody remember that? Y'all like that?
No, I like more of a flexibility where I can jump around.
Adults don't like that. Adults don't, adults hate that. Okay? Because you is not the boss of me. Okay? However, as the subject matter expert, you may need them to go in a certain order. It might be in their best interest to go in the order that you're telling them to go in. Don't go all around the Mayberry bush, because then you're going to get lost. And then when you get lost, then you're going to come back here and you're going to have a million questions for me when all you had to do is go the way I told you to go. Okay? Okay? So there are reasons for locking the navigation. However, please understand your adult learners are going to hate it. Okay. They're not going to like it. Okay. So, but explain it if you feel like you have to lock the navigation. Don't do it just because you want them to go this way. There has to be a really good reason for it. Okay. All right. 101. Do you all have your marching orders? Do you all know what you're doing? If you're not, if you have questions as you go along the way, no problem. Come back in, ask your questions. Okay. Your homework is also in your homework channel, laid out what you need to do. Script out your module 1, knowing that it will not be all words. Okay. You're scripting out video. You might have some words. You might have, different modalities.
So are we just working on model 1 alone, or are we working on all our models
You're
now?
going to work on module 1 alone. Let's get through module 1. Your
Okay.
modules 2, 3, 4, or 2, 3, 4, and 5 are going to be your framework. So if you had a 4-part framework, that's going to be your module 2, 3, 4, and 5. If you had a 3-part framework, it's going to be module 2, 3, and 4. If you had a 7-part framework, it's going to be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay? Hopefully you don't have that many. But y'all get what I'm saying? The framework is going to be the core of your course, the core meat and potatoes. That's why we had to do that first. Make sense? All hearts and minds clear?
Yes, ma'am.
We getting ready to bring that framework back into position, but first, I want to make sure you're setting your people up for success. Okay, very good. All right, with that being said, I'm going to cut the recording. This ends our class week 3, 101, and we're getting into 1001. Feel free to stay. I think you all will benefit from the conversation on the 6 principles of adult learning theory, which is coming up next. All right.